Hi there, my name is Elan Lee, and I'm going to explain how to play Tacocat Spelled Backwards. To set everything up, open the box, which is also the board, and lay it flat on the table. Sit each player on opposite sides of the board, one on the side that says Yay, and one on the side that says Wow. Put all 7 of those red tiles in a stack next to the board. Grab Tacocat and that little plastic stand and attach them together. Now Tacocat can stand, so place Tacocat on the center space on the board. Now, grab the deck of cards, shuffle them, and deal out 7 cards to each player. You can look at your cards, but don't let the other player see them. Put the rest of the deck face down next to the board. This is your draw pile. Leave a little room for a discard pile as well. If your table looks like this, you're ready to start. Okay, let's start by talking about how to win the game. To win, you have to move Tacocat to the goal space on your side of the board. That's the space marked either Yay or Wow. To move Tacocat, you have to win a round of cards against your opponent. Every time you win a round, you get to move Tacocat 1 space closer to you, and the first player to move Tacocat all the way to their side of the board wins the game. To win a round of cards, all you have to do is have the lowest card at the end of the round. To explain what that means, let's play a round together. You've already dealt the cards, so look at your cards and find the lowest card in your hand. That is your most valuable card, because remember, at the end of this round, whoever has the lowest card wins the round and gets to move Tacocat, so protect that card. All of the other cards in your hand are going to help you protect that lowest card. Now we need a player to go first. We'll talk about the real way to pick a first player in a moment, but for now, let's just say the player who dealt the cards will go first. A round is played with a series of attacks, and the first player gets to attack first. So, first player, I'm talking to you. Look at your hand and find the highest card. Place it face up in front of you. That is your attack. Now it's the other player's turn. Other player, I'm talking to you now. You have to do one of 2 things: defend or sacrifice. Defending is very simple. All you do is look at your hand and find any card that is the same or higher than the card you were just attacked with. So, if your opponent just attacked you with a 10, you could defend using a 10, 11, or 12. Ties are fine, it's the same value or higher to defend. But if you cannot defend because you don't have a card that is the same or higher, you must sacrifice. That means you sacrifice your lowest card, not a lower card. Remember that lowest card you were trying to protect? Well, now you have to sacrifice it because you could not defend. To sacrifice, you take your absolute lowest card and put it face up in front of you. And now you're going to try to protect whatever the new lowest card in your hand is. Okay, so we had the first player attack with their highest card, and then the other player either defended by playing the same card or higher, or sacrificed the lowest card in their hand. In either case, collect both cards, put them in the discard pile, and now we're going to attack again. The way to determine who attacks next is whoever was successful in that previous exchange. So, if a player attacked and the other player successfully defended, the player who successfully defended gets to attack next. If a player attacked and the other player was forced to sacrifice their lowest card, then the player who attacked was successful and gets to attack next. Now that we know who attacks next, go ahead and attack with the highest card in your hand. The other player has to defend or sacrifice. You're going to just repeat this process until you both have only 1 card left. Present those cards, and whoever has the lowest card wins the round and gets to move Tacocat 1 space closer to them. That's it. I want you to actually go try this now. I'm going to leave this little cheat sheet up on the screen so you can just pause it and reference it when you need it. But I want you to play all the way through until both of you have only 1 card left. Whoever has the lowest card gets to move Tacocat. Go ahead, play a full round. I'll wait. Okay, now you know how to play a round of cards. You just played a round, moved Tacocat 1 space, and you're ready to play the next round. But first we have to answer a few questions. You just moved Tacocat to a new space on the board. There's a big number on that space. That number is the number of cards to deal to each player for the next round. So collect all the cards, because each round you're going to play with all 38 cards, shuffle them up, and deal the correct number of cards to both players. Go ahead and deal the next round of cards now. There's also an arrow on each of the spaces on the board. That arrow gives one player a special advantage for this round. If Tacocat is resting on a space with an arrow pointed at you, you get to make a very important decision. Look at the cards you were just dealt. There's going to be some that you don't really want, usually middle cards like 5s, 6s, and 7s, because they aren't really high enough to attack very well, and they aren't low enough to have a good chance at being the lowest card at the end of the round. Your special advantage is that you get to discard any number of cards from your hand into the discard pile, and then replace them by drawing that same number of cards from the draw pile into your hand. The other player then gets to discard and replace up to the same number of cards that you just replaced. If you replace 3 cards, then they get to replace up to 3 cards. And if you like your hand and want to lock your opponent with the cards they were dealt, just announce that you don't want to replace any of your cards, because then they don't get to either. For the very first round, Tacocat was resting on a space with arrows pointed at both players. That means that both players could replace as many cards as they would like. Whoever has the arrow pointed at them now should go ahead and replace some cards. Then the other player can replace up to that many cards. There's one other advantage to having that arrow pointed at you. At the end of a round, when both players turn over their final cards hoping to have the lowest one, if those cards are the same, if it's a tie, the player with the arrow pointed at them wins the round and gets to move Tacocat. Okay, now you've dealt cards, you've replaced cards, and now you're ready to start the round. But who gets to attack first? You want to attack first because you get to play any card in your hand instead of having to react to something the other player attacks you with. To decide who goes first, we're going to duel. In a duel, you both get to look at your hands and then choose one card to place face down in front of you. Both of you then turn over these cards at the same time, and the player who has the highest card gets to attack first. The trick is that the card you used in a duel is no longer part of your hand. Collect both duel cards and put them in the discard pile. If there's a tie in the duel, discard both duel cards and duel again. Whenever you move Tacocat to a new space, cover the space Tacocat moved off of with any one of those red tiles, because that space is no longer part of the game. If Tacocat ever moves to a covered space, simply skip that space and move to the next one instead. Repeat as necessary for all covered spaces in a row. This means that the board gets smaller and smaller as the game continues. Keep playing rounds of cards, and whoever wins the round gets to move Tacocat one space closer to them. Whoever moves Tacocat to the goal space on their side of the board wins. That's it! You can play all the way through now. I'll leave some tips for strategy up on the screen for you to read once you finish your first game. Have fun!